Hey guys, welcome back to Dressage from scratch. It's been a hot minute and yeah, I really wanted to get a proper camera so that I could film everything properly, and I decided that I'd start up with another video of Hermes getting a lunging lesson, seeing as that's what the last one was, so that you guys can see the progress. And right up front you can see him cantering around here. I started filming after Jesse, who is my instructor, who's lunging him over here, did the warm-up, and we're busy specifically working on his canter on the left at the moment, which is why we went straight into it after his warm-up. So straight away you can see his frame is a million times better than what it was, and his balance and his rhythm is much better as well. You can see him actually using his body and bending through the smaller circles that she's doing on the lunge now. Overall, just a lot more balance and rhythm and a better frame in this horse, and this is after just 1 month of lunging and riding him. He's now been under saddle for a total of 3 months and he's doing very, very well. So there she just did a transition from canter to trot, and you can see in the trot he's also a lot more balanced and bending. She's asked him for a canter transition again, and there he goes, looking very good. So she does a lot of smaller circles with him on the lunge at the moment to help him with his balance and to build those muscles so that he can balance himself. All young horses have their thing and their issues, and Hermes was having a lot of trouble with the left canter lead. He would take the right canter lead almost every time on the left rein, no matter how bent to the inside he was or how small the circle he was. He would just always throw his rear end out and take that right canter lead. And you can see here he's done 3 really great left canter transitions from trot into canter. So he's gotten much better. He's almost ready for me to do this under saddle. We figure another week, another 3 lunge lessons or so of this, and he'll be ready to do this under saddle as well. But yeah, you can see if you compare this to the previous video, it's like a different horse. He looks so much more forward, so much more through and bending through his body. And just a really good, happy boy. He's a very accommodating horse with a fantastic temperament, and very willing to work and easy to work. A very trainable horse, which makes him just a real pleasure to work with him. I'm a lucky horse mom. He makes me happy and proud every single day that I'm with him. Another good transition to trot. She puts him on a smaller circle. And another good transition to canter. And you can see him happily going along. We do ask him for a lot of transitions and a lot of canter on the left because he was extremely weak and really struggling with just this transition. It was to the point where he would take the wrong lead 15 times in a row, and then at the last minute he would disunite himself and then fix himself, onto the left canter lead. And that was the beginning of us getting his leads right, is he would understand that we wanted a different lead, strike off with the wrong hind leg and the correct front leg, be disunited, and then fix his hind leg. And that was the beginning of us getting him to understand that he needed to strike off differently. And you can see he's just done all of his leads correctly so far. on this left side. I'm just so proud of this boy. He's doing really well. He also managed to figure out how to do flying changes when he was taking off on the wrong leg the whole time, and we'd have to correct him. He occasionally, and you can see there he took the wrong lead. There he took that right leg lead, and then she corrects him and he takes the right lead, the left lead again, which is the correct lead on this side. So yeah, there he took the wrong lead, you can see, and he used to do that for every single transition on the left hand side. And there he does it again, throws his bum out, takes that wrong lead. She corrects him, she stops him, she asks again. He does it wrong again, she corrects him, asks him again, and then he takes the right lead. The left lead, which is the correct lead. I should say correct and not right. It's confusing. And you can see how much more attentive he is to her than he was in that very first session. Really concentrating on his work. Cogs are turning, he's thinking about it. Doing a couple of smaller circles again. And you can see as he gets a little bit tired here, the frame is getting lost a little bit. He gets a little bit high again every now and then in the neck, and he starts to take that incorrect canter lead as he gets a little bit more tired. But you know, we're fixing the canter lead issues, building on balance and muscle, and also building up his fitness and stamina a little bit. So every time that we lunge him, you know, he has to go for a couple minutes more than last, and just build up that fitness and build those muscles. And you can see Jesse using little half halts on him to get him to bend to the inside and soften, and it's through this lateral bending that you get the throughness and the correct frame, and then working through the back. The lateral bending helps with all of that. So she uses little half halts on the cavesson as she's lunging him to get that bend and to get the correct frame and throughness. I'm really just so thrilled with the way he's coming on. His trot looks so much better than it did in the beginning, and he's really coming along very nicely. And he still has that tendency to, when you ask him to come down a gate, to want to just stop instead of moving along in the gate that you ask him to come down to. So you kind of on the lunge have to ask him to walk and then push him forward a little bit again. And there she asks him to stand, and he's always very eager to stand and fall asleep. So after this we're going to skip ahead, and Jessie just let me take over. That's me, that's Jessie walking away there, that's me with Hermes in the middle now, and just do the last little bit of chart work with him to finish up. So I'm just getting him to go forward in the circle again. And my goal here finishing off was just to get him to really come down in the neck and work a little bit lower. And you can see him there offering that. And for those people who are still learning to lunge or who don't know much about lunging, the whip is there purely as a driving tool. You don't actually hit the horse with the whip. You can use it to lightly touch or graze their legs, their hind legs, to get them to move forward a bit, or to, oh, he's just having a poop over there, or to make some noise to get them to move forward, or even just as a visual aid to keep them forward. But the whip is generally not used to actually hit the horse. One thing to note on this right side is that you'll see he's actually bent a little bit to the outside on this rein. This is the rein that it's easier for him to canter on, but it's harder for him to get inside bend on this rein. And you can see me there doing a smaller circle and using half halts on the cavesson to try and get him to get that inside bend to the right, and you can see how bent to the outside he is there. So that's just his natural tendency. He's young and he has a preferred side, like human beings are left or right-handed, horses are the same, and it's just something you have to work on and get them as symmetrical and happy on both sides as you can. So to the left, we always have to focus on getting that left hind leg under him and getting that left canter lead right, and on the right we really have to focus on getting the right bend. He tends to also fall onto his right shoulder and bend to the left. So we have to really get the right bend going and stop him from falling on that inside shoulder on the right. But yeah, he's going around quite nicely, and this is pretty much how we end the lesson. So I'm going to skip ahead to the end here. There's nothing too much more exciting to see. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video and today's lunging lesson, and that you can see the progress from our very first lunging session. I'm super happy with Hermes. He's doing so wonderful, and he's just turning out to be a really great guy. I just love this horse to pieces. And here we are just fetching our camera, and that's me saying how proud I am of him and how happy I am. And that's him just being kind of the most adorable guy in the world.